item F, is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The $25,000 that was offered was considered. The council had a lot of, Manuel, would you join me up here, please, so you can kind of get involved in this conversation, being as you're going to be the guy in the room. They had a lot of questions that maybe we should have answered more going into it because it was a bit too general. And what I thought I would do today is I'd ask Mr. Chavez to help me. I'm going to go through what I recall the questions were and give what answers may have been offered to them to better clarify it. And then as he was there, he's going to kind of pick up the slack and add to or take away whatever so that we'll have more clarity when the council reviews this. As far as the point of order, I guess, being it was the first one was refused, I suspect the first what we need to do now is we need a new motion to reoffer it. And in doing so, when we get into that, then we can get the motion, the second, and then we can go into questions and answers and have a discussion about it. And then we can call for a vote to go forward. Okay? So does anybody care to make a motion that we represent the $25,000 offer to the city council?
I do. I move that we reoffer the $25,000.
Okay, we have a motion by Jerry.
Second.
Second? Robert? Okay. Okay. I think, first off, what needs to be clarified is that this $25,000 is being offered by the EDC to be used in conjunction with the city's marketing plan on advertising and help getting the word out about American Airlines. The other most important point of that, if these dollars are not necessarily being given specific guidance by our EDC board, it's going to be done by an advertising committee made up of selected individuals that have knowledge about extensive advertising. We'll have, Manuel, we had, Abram Rodriguez on there, Sandra from the News Herald, Shanna Lee from the Del Rio Bank and Trust, Blanca from the Del Rio Chamber of Commerce, Carmen Otila from the Del Rio Hispanic Chamber, and I sat in on it, but I don't really need to be on it anymore. I think that's probably a pretty good crew on where they need to go. Did I miss anybody that you can recall on that meeting? Does that pretty much catch them all? Of course, city staff.
Right.
Yeah, we had, I don't think Vicki was there, but hope she'll be there the next time. And then Mr. Chavez, if we have the opportunity to do it, he'll be involved or have one of his associates. Is that on the guidance committee? Is that pretty much where you think we are?
Yeah, and our airport director, Juan Onorfe, and Esme were also included.
Okay, yeah, okay, all right. So the money's there, and let them decide what and where it goes. The general description of what they have thought they want to do is that $9,000 of that money would be dedicated on a contract basis to an individual to make door-to-door personal calls. That person would also have a travel and business allowance that we set at a tentative amount at the time of around $3,000 to run over the 90-day period of time. Gas, bridge, all the different things that are involved in where it is. One thing that was left out and the council was asking about is that this person will not be, and these dollars, let me go back. The dollars that we're going to expend will be routed to the Del Rio Chamber of Commerce for them to do distribution on. The $9,000 would be a contract of services. It would not have any hourly specifications or daily timelines, but it would have a weekly reporting policy. Every Friday, a report would be turned in on number of calls, comments, contacts, that type of thing, generating an information base of what was done and who was involved. The reason for doing the contract is it takes it to where a W-9, did I get that right? The W-9 can be issued by the chamber to whoever the contract employee is. That way it will be trailed as it needs to, and that can be tagged with the expense sheet as well. The balance of money was then pretty much left up in the air. We had originally talked about considering a certain amount to go to a city intern, but that's something I think Mr. Chavez and Vicki will work out on whether they want to draw down on that money, which I think our committee you're certainly welcome to do if you want to, or you can leave it intact and we'll pass it along as part of the bundle that advertising committee would be given the opportunity to place ads on.
Yeah, if I may, I'd rather recommend that you use that as more for marketing. We do have a budget for that particular intern, so we can cover that on the city side.
Good. So what that'll do is it'll change the numbers from where it's 9 and 3 that we have tentatively designated, 9,000 salary, 3,000 miscellaneous at $12,000, and that'll leave $13,000 worth of discretionary spending by the advertising group that they will probably enhance social media. They've got some special places they may want to go, both advertising in the U.S. and Mexico. And the main effect of moving it to the chamber is to keep it simple, and I'm going to use the word fast moving in the sense that these decisions can be made and these ads placed so that we can kind of be these funds will be the supercharge going into the long-term plan that Mr. Chavez and his staff have created on the 60,000, I think, in the first phase that y'all have moving forward. Now,
Correct.
what did I miss? Did I get all the questions answered? Did that help? You know, you were faced with having to answer those questions. Does that give it to where you have a better, when you were there and Manuel, with what you're saying, what would we add in there that we could help the council as far as information, do you think?
Another, the discussion came about as far as just wanting more detail of the ins and outs. I think this might get us there as far as what the plan was for the entire amount. I don't recall any specific item other than requesting more details of the funds. I'm not sure if you have anything else to add.
The one thing that, and as we're doing this, is that we will do a review of our minutes and try to cut out this paragraph of where this description's been, is to say that at the end is that this advertising group we put together, or these are people who do this for a living for their own businesses, and we're trusting that the council will understand and trust in them as we do to go ahead and let them go ahead and do the placement of the money, and that the combined effort of what council's doing and what we're doing, I think, is going to go ahead and push this thing forward. I have a letter here that I'd like to read to you, but first off, is there any detail, Manuel, any other, or Esme, either one of you guys, any other question or detail, or Gilbert, you were there on it, is there anything that you guys saw or heard that we might be able to better help the council in making this new decision? Are we where we need to be right now? Ma'am?
They just wanted the detail.
So have we got, do you think we have enough? If they go and if they, by the time, if they want to ask the question, where is the $13,000 going to be spent? have mixed emotions on whether we should draw our advertising committee together to decide that prior to the funding being approved or after. I think my position is, let's see if the council will go ahead and just approve the funds and let that advertising committee then know they have those dollars and go out and spend them. Unless some of y'all have a different idea of what to do with it.
Well, and I think that the point to make is that the 13,000 is going to publicity. It's not going to a person. That's the previous one. So this $13,000 is really just going to advertising in billboards, whatever they can find, magazines. So if they need to know that if that's the concern of what's happening, that it's going to be a very tangible expense.
You're absolutely correct, and the most important part of that is that the key ingredient to this working properly will be for Vicki, who is doing the city advertising, to be there with her marketing budget and her marketing placement there in front, so that when they're making their recommendations, they're not doing a duplication of effort. This is a support to the master plan that the city marketer is with.
Right.
And hitting high spots that maybe because didn't think about or didn't have the funds to get there, this will offer that opportunity to do so. Does that work?
Yeah, and now thinking about it, you may want to. You mentioned the weekly report that the individual will have to present. I don't know if you want to outline the exact items that they'll have to report on, and that'll probably back up the individual as far as the 9,000.
Just do a simple outline of requested information to be turned in on a report.
Right,
In other
as
words,
far as what.
Contacts that were made, emailings, different things. Just a general activity report, right?
Sure, just.
Yeah. Okay. Any other thing? Anything else? Okay.
Has the city started any advertising itself yet?
Oh yes, we've already put out $60,000 worth of advertisement.
We good? Any other questions? Okay. I would like to say that whenever it's between you and Esme and what Manuel can work out, this is probably the most important segment of our meeting that we're doing. So when the video guys pull it up, if we can get that portion done, so we can. My memory's not good enough to get it all down in detail like we need to get it detailed, and that you all look at it just as much as myself and make your field notes on there on what we want to change or how we want to tweak it to get this done, because it'll be very helpful. Okay. Call for a vote. All in favor of representing the $25,000 to the council for consideration and supporting American Landline? All those in favor?
Aye.
Right.
Opposed? None?
No one.
Thank you, Mr. Chavez.
I want to make a comment on that item. I got an email, a text this morning from a friend of mine. Two of her children just booked a trip to Del Rio in January out of Connecticut. They're paying $285 a person round trip.
Wow.
Good
Now,
story.
you can't drive to San Antonio and back for that kind of money.
No.
You can go to Premier base in New York City and back. I mean, this is really
285
$285 a ticket round trip.
round trip from here?
Yes. Now assume what it is after the first of the year, you're getting by the holiday travel, and they got some discounts out there. So that family is flexible, so they just picking where they can get the low-cost ticket.
That's a bargain.
Okay. All right. Very good.
I spent $110 just in
Yeah.
parking over there.
Yeah.